Knicks fans, we're not going to get the #1 overall pick, and that's okay. What's going on, guys? Welcome into Clutch B-Ball TV. I hope you guys had an amazing day or night. And today, I'm going to be talking about the 2021 NBA Draft. First off, a big shout out to this guy for recommending this video idea. I put in my community tab, what NBA video or Knicks video do you want me to do next? I said, what kind of broad NBA video, Knicks video, like, what do you want to see next? And I'm going to try to get to as many as possible for sure. I appreciate you guys having your input and just helping me out come up with a video idea, because it's really hard, especially when you're banging out content like crazy. Sometimes you can't even think, like, did I do this video before or not? And then you have to look back. But yeah, big shout out to him. Thank you so much for recommending this video. And today, I'm going to be talking about the New York Knicks and the 2021 NBA Draft and why it's okay if we don't get the first overall pick. First off, can we get the first overall pick? We were bad. Like, there's 2 years that we had the worst record in the NBA. Like, the Porzingis draft, we had the worst record in the NBA, or no, second worst. Timberwolves were worse than us. I believe they won 15 or 16 games. Then, when we got RJ Barrett, we had the worst record. You having the worst record does not mean you're going to have the first overall pick. It does not mean that whatsoever. So Knicks fans, just be prepared to get 5 or 6, or even be prepared to get 8. Us Knicks fans, we don't know whatsoever. We don't know how the season's going to turn out. But I decided to take this video recommendation. RJ Barrett may pop. We may go to the playoffs. I doubt it, though. I don't think this is a playoff team. I don't think we have stability at the point guard position. Mitchell Robinson, a lot of people are high on Mitchell Robinson. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be negative. I think he's really talented, but he still has to add a post move in his arsenal. Yes, he's this really springy guy that's very athletic. He could block shots. He tries to block everything, which is kind of a strength and weakness. But because he blocks everything, they do a good job getting him up in the air, because they know he's really bouncy off his feet and he's really active, that sometimes he can get out of control and he can get in foul trouble. Literally, you know how a Mitchell Robinson game is going to go. First 2 minutes in the game, has 2 fouls, momentum's gone. He's not going to have a good game. If he doesn't get into foul trouble first 4 or 5 minutes in, like, okay, Mitchell Robinson's playing smart this game. We need consistency from Mitchell Robinson. Is he going to take that leap? Is he going to mature his game on the defense side of the basketball? And I know a lot of people assume having Tom Thibodeau, Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, all are going to get better defensively, or everyone in general. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to these players if they're willing to listen and learn. Do they have the right technique? Are they willing to learn the right technique? Are they willing to listen? Are they willing to really put in the work and be the best defensive players they could be? Because Karl-Anthony Towns was coached by Tom Thibodeau. Did he get better defensively? No. Did Andrew Wiggins? No. We have to hope RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Obi, just everyone on this roster is willing to listen more than Karl-Anthony Towns or Andrew Wiggins at the end of the day. And going back to the draft, as you guys know, we've been seeking that #1 overall pick for a long time. We haven't had that first overall pick since Patrick Ewing, and it was rigged, ladies and gentlemen. As, of course, we didn't come away with Zion Williamson. It's supposed to be this generational type of talent for sure. And if you take a look at the 2016 NBA draft, we would have got Jamal Murray if we didn't make a stupid trade, and that was a pretty stacked draft. Jamal Murray, we would have our point guard of the future, or at least ability at the point guard position for once. But no, we decided to trade the pick. There's Brandon Ingram in that draft. There's Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown. That was just a fantastic draft at the end of the day, and it happens to be the year we don't have a draft pick. I'm glad the Phil Jackson era is over. Yes, the Knicks still suck, but Phil Jackson was he's just a whole other column of bad. He was just horrendous for the New York Knicks, and I'm just so glad he's gone at the end of the day. And I really like what Leon Rose is bringing to the New York Knicks, of this patience and just building this team the right way. A lot of people were saying, like, we have patience. We've just been bad for so long, but we've never built this team the right way. We've never built this team the right way in such a long time. But yeah, getting into the 2021 NBA Draft, the prospects, if it's Jalen Suggs, if it's Brandon Boston, Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, Jonathan Kuminga, Mobley, there's so much talent in this draft, and I'm really excited to see who we're going to come away with. That's 6 prospects. Like, at the end of the day, if we get the 6th pick, we can get one of those guys. And I know people want a point guard bad. Like, I want a point guard bad too, but I don't want to take a point guard to take a point guard. At the end of the day, we need talent. We need talent. We know Cade Cunningham's a clear-cut #1 overall pick. Yes, he's only a couple games into his collegiate career, But I'm telling you right now, that kid plays effortless. He has a high basketball IQ, his ability to see things before they happen. He does need to get better with the turnovers in the turnover department, but he's good at finishing at the basket. He's a solid athlete. He's a smooth shot from the outside. I definitely I don't think he's a perfect prospect. No one in this draft is a perfect prospect. If it's Brandon Boston driving to the basket, sometimes he just throws up some random stuff, and he definitely needs to get stronger. Some people see some Brandon Ingram in his game. Mobley, he needs to improve his free throw shooting, but he looks good. He could shoot the ball. Athletic freak of nature. If Mobley's the best talent available, you take Mobley. If there's no point guard you could take at that slot, you take the best player available. I love Mitchell Robinson, but Mobley has a higher ceiling, legitimate threat shooting the basketball. We've seen it in his collegiate career. But at the end of the day, we need talent. But yes, getting into the point guard prospects, Cade Cunningham, if we don't get the first overall pick, yeah, we're not getting Cade Cunningham because he's going to go 1 in my opinion. But Jalen Suggs is a really good name to look at from Gonzaga. He's a guy that can work downhill. He doesn't execute the greatest from the free throw line, which is like the sad part. But you have to keep in mind, they've only played a couple games into their collegiate career. They may be better what they really are. You can't take a look at these small sample sizes. And I need to see more of a sample size from downtown. But he's athletic, has a high motor, great basketball IQ as well. He's a great passer of the basketball. Like, this kid has so much confidence. It's so much fun watching him. And even if Brandon Boston's there, if we have the 6th pick, if Brandon Boston's there, take him. We need a small forward first off, and then we'll be like a point guard away from this young nucleus of guys. Of course, we have Obi Top and RJ. We'll see if we hold on to Mitch. If it depends if Mobley's there in the whole situation, but Brandon Boston there, and then you get the point guard in the following draft, or maybe in free agency, or we hope, if we're being real, we hope Dennis Smith Jr. makes a big improvement. Frank, one of the point guards on this roster, we hope makes a big improvement, so then we have that point guard of the future. If we're being completely real, we want that stability at the point guard position. We've never had it in like such a long time. Even Patrick Ewing didn't have stability at the point guard position. If it was Mark Jackson, if it was what's his name, Derek Harper, like he didn't have stability at the point guard position as well, and it's like really sad for sure. And we just need that point guard that can consistently put pressure on the defense. But I'm a big fan of all these prospects. We don't know what Jonathan Kuminga is, like what he could do against high-level competition, because he's going to the G League. Same thing with Jalen Green. He was projected to be the 2nd overall pick. He's getting comparisons to Kobe, which are absolutely crazy. But going back, are we going to be bad enough to get a top 5 pick? I personally think we are. But if we're going to lose games, I want us to lose games in the fashion of the young guys are taking the last shots. Yes, I get it. Tom Thibodeau, he's going to put the best lineup out there that we have a chance to win. If it's Alfred Payton, if it's even Julius Randle. But the thing I don't get, Obi Toppin's 22 years old. He's going to be 23 in March. We drafted him to be this impact right away player, or he was just the best player on the board. We'll see what Emmanuel quickly does, but I want to see RJ take that last shot. I don't want to see, like last year, Bobby Portis winning us games, Marcus Morris, the guys that aren't going to be a part of this team long term. Like, why are they in the starting lineup? Yes, I get it. You want to put together the best team to be successful, but if we're being real and you have common sense, this team's not good enough to go to the playoffs. I'd rather have Frank Starr. I'd rather have Dennis Smith Jr., one of the young guys, even Emmanuel quickly maybe learn to play the point guard position. I want to see these young guys mesh, and I think this is the last straw year for Kevin Knox. We brought in Kenny Payne. We got to be fair for Kevin Knox. At the end of the day, are they putting in the work, though? Do they deserve that starting spot? I think RJ's a clear-cut starter. Mitch might be a clear-cut starter. We'll see what happens with Nerlens Noel. But it's just going to be very frustrating if we move on from Knox, and he never really got a real opportunity because these veteran guys were playing over him. Because, of course, a veteran guy would play over Kevin Knox. Because at the end of the day, they have more experience, and then they know how to play the NBA game the right way, and they have a more mature game. When Kevin Knox is a project, we should expect this. The Knicks management needs to be smart. Tom Thibodeau really has to think everything over and make sure we're put in the right position moving forward. We don't rush the process. We don't let go of these young guys without fully evaluating these guys for sure what they could do down the stretch, their strengths and weaknesses. And yes, I want to win games, but if we're going to win games, I want to win games with the young guys. I think we're going to start off just horrendous. I think we're going to be terrible. But then, towards the end of the season, I think we're finally going to learn how to win as a team, just like Joe Judge with the New York Giants. He started off 0-4, 0-5, I believe. But then they started winning football games. They found out how to close out games, and that's a part of winning. But we'll see if Julius Randle starts over Obi Toppin. If Obi starts, I don't think Julius Randle will be dealt, if I'm being completely real. But who's your favorite prospect? Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green's an athletic freak of nature, but it's just amazing as well because that Mavericks pick's probably going to be like 20-something. But let's say if we get like the 6th, 7th pick, worst case scenario for the New York Knicks, I don't think we're going to be a good basketball team. We have that other pick, and maybe we could try to trade up. Like, I'm really interested to see what that Mavericks pick is going to be. Yes, they did get Josh Richardson. They traded away Seth Curry. They have some talent there for sure. They have Luka Doncic, a big reason they're going to make the playoffs. We'll see if Porzingis stays healthy. I know he's out the beginning of the season, but I'm just really excited to see how we're going to do in the draft because there's just so much talent, and there's always those guys that spark and come out of nowhere. If it's in March Madness, the NCAA tournament, just like the Final Four and just national championship game are so much fun to watch. Like Dante DiVincenzo, how he turned it on. He was a big reason he was drafted high by the Milwaukee Bucks, a shooter, brings some energy to them as well. But we'll see what happens for sure when it comes to the NBA draft. Who do you personally want? I know the season did not even start yet, but I had to bring out this video from my guy that suggested this, but we'll see what happens. I think there's great prospects. I think we can even get a quality player like 21. If we get like a good player and a very quality player that's at worst a bench player or even a quality starter, what if we get a very valuable point guard at like 21, which I doubt. But yes, maybe you could package the other pick, trade up. We have those second rounders as well. I really think we're thinking outside the box and looking towards the future. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the like button, click that subscribe button for more content. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.